In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at creating a parallax landscape. Now, the goal of this particular animation is to reveal that we have a rabbit hiding in the flowers of this tree. So what we need to be able to do is zoom in to that particular tree and make everything else respond. Now, there are, of course, a couple ways to look at this. You've already seen that, of course, we have the three-dimensional tools. And so I have a 3D version start file that I want you to be aware of. So if you open up this file, go ahead and move that movie clip on the front just a little bit, and you'll see that it is indeed in three-dimensional layers. If I double click on it, I can go inside and see what's going on. And I've got some layers at z negative 252, and I've got the z of the sun back at 10,000, so it's really far in the distance. And then I have all the different layers kind of coming closer progressively. Anyway, that enables me to move things around. Well, wouldn't that be nice? Well, go ahead and test the scene, and if you look at the graphics, you'll notice they're a little bit fuzzy. And the reason why is because when you use the 3D tool, it has to convert the stuff to basically a bitmap image. And that means that we really don't have the ability to work with it the way that we'd like to. I can try doing an animation that's 50 frames long. So I'm going to insert a frame and then insert a keyframe for the background, or I'm sorry, for the foreground. And I'm going to zoom up. So I'm going to go to the free transform tool, see if I can scale that up a little bit and move it over. You can also see it's really hard to get the animations just perfect so we can get into the object that we want. So you'll see that I have to go back to my original file actually and move this guy down massively. He's way too far in the way, so maybe I can move that up a little bit. But this guy in the foreground needs to move down. I'm not even sure it'll let me select him. There we go. He needs to move down. The other guy needs to move down as well. So that's what the end result will look like. If I go back to the beginning, that's what it'll look like, the end result. Let me go ahead and do my classic tween, and you'll see we get our parallax. But if I go ahead and render this animation, let me insert a frame just so it stops there at the end. If I go ahead and render this, you'll notice it looks terrible. So obviously, this is just not something that we can do with our graphics. We can't do a lot of zooming with 3D. But I'm going to go ahead and save that so you can take a look at it. Anyway, with what we're going to do instead is just do regular zooming of our objects, and I've got all the objects already set up in all the different layers for you. What you need to do is insert your keyframes at frame 50 or further. Insert keyframe. You'll notice I really don't need a keyframe for the background, so I could clear that keyframe. And then you're going to manually animate each of the different layers. So we can do that by selecting multiple layers at a time and zooming them up a little bit if you like. But then we need to have them actually moved in slightly different ways. And of course, some of the layers should probably animate to be faster than the other layers, and that's because, if I just insert my classic tween for those layers, that's because they are closer to the camera, so they animate faster than the others. So this is something that'll take a little bit of tweaking, but I'd like you to basically find a way to zoom into the rabbit that's there and make all the different layers respond. When you're done, go ahead and remove the start from your file and submit. Thanks.